Hey folks, it's Maxwell here and welcome to episode 16 of Best of British Wrestling, our 2-1 CW 21st Century Wrestling save. Yeah, we're on the road to the Cornell Cup. This episode was tricky to book, I feel, because effectively most of that event is going to be that tag team tournament, so it really is just a case of getting every tag team that's participating in the best place possible for that. I feel my momentum with this save's been a wee bit stop-start, but that's really my fault. As I say, I've been hammering a lot of Forza, basically trying to catch up with all the content I missed when I was away, and yeah, I've been trying to go on a bit of a health kick, and yeah, those fitness sessions have certainly been taking up a bit of time, but all is good, all is certainly in a positive direction, and I think once everything settles down, once eventually the real world mod makes its way online, we'll probably see this saved maybe 1 or 2 episodes a week, and that 1 or 2 episodes a week. And I'm toying with the idea of something on Pro Wrestling Sim. It's really just trying to find the best thing that works for all things going effectively. But I'm really intrigued to get this save quite far, and I really want to see how the universe develops. I really want to see how it develops compared to everybody else, really. You know what I mean? That's what I like seeing. We've all got the same blank canvas to go in different directions, so that's why I'm always like, kind of keeping an eye on the likes of Ace Cody and Boltinho's diaries on the Grey Dog Software forums, because it's kind of cool to see like they maybe have a bit more experience of 21st century wrestling than I do, and seeing where they go. But hopefully, as I say, we can have a great time here, and yeah, onwards to the Cornell Cup we go. So less of me blathering on, and this is this week's edition of the Best of British Wrestling. So this episode in particular, I fully expect to take a loss in popularity, but I feel for storyline purposes it was the right decision to make. So you'll see it's basically not a great main event, but it's necessary. So we are in the Coventry City Stadium. We've got 4,822 fans here, and we open the show with the contest between Josh Ishk and Reese Pendragon. Joshua, one of our new gens that have came through the academy. In this one, it was a bout that had terrible wrestling and non-existent crowd heat, as Reese Pendragon defeated Joshua in 2:31 with the Pendragon's Triangle, his submission hold, and this was storytelling. So we started the show just getting Reese some positive momentum. You can see here Joshua debuts a Patriot gimmick. He's just basically enhancement at this point. Reese is obviously slowed down by his injury. The crowd viewed him as 2 pre-show workers. It's just gaining him some momentum. So overall, a 16 is not great to start with, but it makes sense. After the match, into the ring comes Edward Cornell alongside Reese Pendragon, and he has a few words to say to Tommy Cornell. Look at that, a broken jaw, and the kid still steps up and is victorious. Tommy, for what you did to this young man, he is going to haunt you forever. He's going to be the one who lifts the Cornell Cup, and he stands above your fallen body with that cup afloat. So just a bit of taunting there from the business. Edward Cornell is him, and Reese have called out Tommy. It's 57 for this segment, because obviously you've got Reese in the background, but hopefully like a wee instances like this gets him a bit more overness, a bit more popularity. The storyline advances, loses heat obviously with 57. Edward was good, Reese worked the crowd well, but he did perform poorly as well. Obviously the lack of overness in comparison to Edward, and the commentary quality lifted the segment. Next up, we had a bout that had a decent reaction from the crowd but terrible wrestling. Another one of our kind of enhancement matches, as in this one, Jonathan Foss defeated Paris Berry in 5:55 with the Devil's Drop, although overall it got a 55 segment. So the purpose here is again just to make Hellbound look as dangerous as possible, with the leader Jonathan Foss picking up the win. Paris Berry was the alpha male gimmick, which was an initial rating of great, but he's just another one that's came through the academy, and Jonathan Foss has benefited from a hot new move. But Tommy Cornell is basically getting words from everyone. Jonathan Foss says, it seems to me that Mr. Cornell has made himself quite a few enemies around here, the House of Business, and of course ourselves, Hellbound. We will take great pride in dissecting Mr. Cornell limb from limb, and making sure that he and his yet-to-be-known partner won't make it out the first round, because obviously it is going to be Gravedigger and what's the other guy in that team? But anyway, Dark Pact against Tommy Cornell and a mystery partner, which will be announced on this episode 60 segment. Next up, decent matchup. Andrew Lee defeats Philharmonic in 8:51 with the Stone Age kick. Again, we're just building up Andrew Lee's momentum effectively, trying to raise his morale. And a 54 performance here. Philharmonic and Hargreaves with good chemistry. And yeah, pretty average mid-card level performances by both. But I think Harmonic's like so much younger, so there's a lot of potential there. Next up and about, they had some good heat and decent wrestling. The underdogs, that is of course Michael X and Joe Simpson, defeated Cool, Look Cool, and Philip Cooper in 11:01 when Joe Simpson pinned Philip Cooper with the double dog down. This one got a 58 overall. The real story behind this one is just giving the underdogs a bit of momentum. So basically not making them underdogs going into the Cornell Cup. We will hear from them later on in a small segment. But first up we have Edison Silva versus Forrest Charmer. And this one had decent reaction from the crowd but terrible wrestling as the push of Forrest Charmer continues. As we try and project some of Edison Silva's overness to him. But he wins in 8:42 with the lucky charm. Unfortunately he was off his game. Only brought a 38 level performance and a segment overall of 43. Well then backstage we are with the underdogs Michael X and Joe Simpson, and they have the angry looking smiling John Smithy in the background. Basically Michael X will say, "No, smiling John Smithy, are you okay bud?" And he just gurs, he's just angry, he's dour, he's raging, he's just such an angry person. I think that's one again, there we go, it's been a while. Joe Simpson after this says, "Come on man, lighten up. Why do you have to be so angry all the time? It completely goes against your name." He just turns round, smiling John Smithy, he punches the wall, and he walks out the locker room. And Michael X says, "Man, he is crazy." So, I just find it funny in the bio where it says like his name is Smiling John Smithy, but he's the most dour looking person they've got. So, we'll try and work something anyway. It's 38 segment. Two of them do well. John Smithy was terrible off script. His dialogue was a mess, even though he was just angry. But hopefully, we can work something with him. Maybe make him a decent character in the save. Who knows? He's Scottish though, so that's good. Next up, we have Jeff Nova coming to the ring, so this will give us our strongest promo of the night with a 79. Our authority figure type person. Effectively, we've just given him that because of his role before we take over. So he comes to the ring and he says he's going to know the full brackets. So, ladies and gentlemen, with much anticipation, it's time for me to reveal this year's draw for the Cornell Cup. In the first round, we will see Tommy Cornell and a mystery partner take on Blackheart and Gravedigger. That's Dark Pact. Absolutely Flawless will take on Beskov and Ilikov from the House of Business. For some reason, I can't remember their tag name. We will see Crouching Storm Hidden Sifu take on Herring and Valance, the tag champs. And it will be the underdogs Joe Simpson and Michael X take on Edward Cornell and Reese Pendragon. Full tournament will be on the one night. Let the best team win. So 79, and that is the participants in that tournament. I think at the moment it's probably just going to be the World Championship match and effectively the tournament. Seems to be the plan. Into our women's division. Still not quite ready for a women's championship, but the crowd ratings are going up here. And it was about to have terrible wrestling and non-existent crowd heat as Steph Blake defeated Maisie Laurels in 7:05 with the slingshot DDT. Again, made this one storytelling. Probably didn't need to. Probably could have not used it here, but me being me, of course. But overall, 34 and 28 for their in-ring performances. The crowd are turned off because of pre-show workers, still building them up. But the segment was a 25. I'll tell you one thing. It's going to be so rewarding when we do get an over women's division. Obviously suffering all these poor grades at the start. But I like to think we'll get there. It might take us into 2023, but hopefully it's worth it. Next up, a decent matchup. Adam Travers defeated Ernest Youngman in 12:25 with a mile-high moonsault. And this was designed so the wrestlers went out to steal the show, so a good win there for Adam Travers. He brought a 62, Ernest brought a 52, and overall it was a 61. My reasoning for this one was Ernest is always going to have a good matchup, he's just not the most over. Matravers is obviously someone that is still talented, but maybe on a bit of a decline. But maybe I've underestimated him a little bit in the saves so far. We then hear from Tommy Cornell. He's not in the arena, he's basically via satellite. Basically, I've been watching a lot of Reliving the War, and a lot of stuff has been via satellite. So a few words from Tommy Cornell, and he's going to address a few people. So to all the fans in attendance, I'm sorry that I can't be there tonight. I'm at home recovering thanks to Hellbound. Edward, it's cute that you and Reese are trying to pull what you are trying to pull off. Basically, you've corrupted his mind, but he's old enough to make his own decisions, and those will come with consequences. So how do I combat the both of you? Well, I've done a little bit of research on a partner for the tournament, but in truth it's an old friend. It's someone reliable, it's someone I know can still do the job. So for the Cornell Cup, it will be me, Tommy Cornell, teaming up with Adam Matravers. So I've done a little bit of research. It seems like a lot of people are actually pushing Adam Matravers, and it thought me, am I overlooking him? I think a bit that was making me push against using him was in my RWC of last year when Claudio hit 42. Physical decline, like he went way down. I mean, he's a specimen, really, if you know what I mean. The guy is absolutely in a ridiculous condition. So I obviously looked at Matravers, saw he was 42 and went, he's going to be poor. But no, we'll utilise him, we'll give him an opportunity. And so it is going to be Tommy Cornell teaming with Adam Matravers. They've sent out a warning shot to Edward and Reese. The storyline got a 70 for its segment and it progressed but didn't get a little bit of heat here. And for once, Tommy Cornell struggled when going off script. Their main event, as expected, did underperform. It's a bit of a shame that, because they both actually brought decent in-ring performances. The segment only a 59. So because we've just had this matchup to obviously give Apollo Prince some momentum, there's been no storyline attached to it. So yeah, it's obviously penalised that a lot and will make us lose pop. But anyway, great heat, good wrestling. Apollo Prince defeats Sifu in 10:53 with the apology. Pretty standard stuff, pretty good stuff. And just to confirm, that'll be, yep. It's a shame, like, you know what I mean, sometimes you'll get a match where it'll be a number one contender has a matchup, a good matchup, comes out of it winning, looks good, and then into the thingy, but obviously TW doesn't let them in that position. And we finished the show with some words from Apollo Prince. Did you see that? Did you see that, brother? I hope to hell you were watching, Wade Orson. I'm not here to mess around. I'm here to take that goddamn championship away from you. I'm going to keep building and building more and more momentum. And at the Cornell Cup, who gives a shit about that tournament? It's all about my crown and glory and me taking that belt away from you. So I've actually a pretty strong promo with the 72. The storyline advances, gains heat. Apollo Prince worked the crowd well using the freedom to improvise. So actually, I feel, well, no, because I feel like match-wise we probably need about like a high 70 just to retain pop. So we're going to lose a bit of pop in the UK, we'll gain pop everywhere else. But yeah, this feud's actually looking not too bad between Apollo Prince and Wade Orson. And yeah, in future I'd maybe need something like a botched interference from Wade Orson just to probably boost that match up by 5. But I still feel that would maybe only been a 70, so that still would have been negative pop. So a 79 best promo, a 72 for the second best one. Our main event was a 59. I think we're probably looking about a mid 60, about a 64, 65 show. 62. Okay. The show lost us popularity in 6 regions, which we understood. It increased our popularity in 33, which is fine. As I said, I'm quite happy to lose a lot of popularity at this medium level just now, just to ensure we've got a better run at it once we get more people over. The fans were disappointed at storylines further than the show, none of the dramatic stakes. It was a lot of promos. We're really pushing heavy the situation between Tommy and Edward, and obviously Reese Pendragon. And obviously maybe just because it was a promo rather than anything else between Prince and Orson. But hey, it's basically trying to fill a couple of weeks of television with bringing up new stars that won't be in the pay-per-view, because the pay-per-view is effectively going to be tournament and a main event match. So we'll maybe see some undercard guys next week. Again, just try to get them over, try and introduce a few characters, and hopefully get some storylines off and kicking. No injuries. Financial report is 92k profit. I'm that weird way. I'm like, do I just like keep having like a decent kitty in the bank, like 9 million, or do I just go all out, splash it? And maybe when we've got like 4 million, just hope that keeps us in a good solid position, but really be aggressive. It's a tricky one. So popularity recap, obviously we've dropped to 74, but the rest of the world we're now at a 29 to a 30 in Europe, and certainly in our place. We could maybe tackle Europe a bit more. I don't know. We'll see. I did like the idea. I think it was Baltino had went and made a show in Europe. I'm like, it could cost us financially, but it might be worth it. I don't think it's an avenue I'm going to go down just yet, but it's that way as well. Like, you want to give people more matches as well, just so they can improve their attributes. If obviously we do have house shows, which is good, but maybe just a case of getting the reps in. I think there's anything there that is too much for us. Show was good but underwhelming, and the UK. That's my worry. But yeah, we've failed that about 5 times, but they haven't kicked us off the network yet. But it's a worry if they do, then what position are we going to be in? So that's effectively it. Of the best of British wrestling, as I say, the 16th of April for the Cornell Cup. So a few weeks of television, but you can see. Well, I say that. We've had a couple of good shows in March, but our best show obviously was the 17th of Feb. But I think when you start hitting that more, because say size wise, we're still in the cooling down period, so we can't really gain within the UK, I think it is, or we can't rise anyway. So 77 pops a wee bit away anyway. And if I just go to the broadcasting, it's a 68, so we're not in a terrible position because we obviously changed the. Oh God! So if we're on television until the 30th of July, so that's not too bad. But yeah, that could be quite worrying. But we'll see. As I say, hopefully we just get the right combination. I think one thing is we do need like more people in the main event scene. So like the Apollo push is good because obviously you've only really got the 2 Cornells, Wade Orson and Button. But we'll see what happens. I'm optimistic. I still feel I'm entering the unknown because there's a lot of like, oh, I don't really know, still learning the database, etc. But hopefully we pick it up over time. So as always, cheers for watching, it's much appreciated. Any comments, thumbs up, let us know how your own saves are getting on, whether it's with anyone in the Cverse or just in general if you've got a mod you've started using. And yeah, as always as well, by the way, if you're ever like doing a YouTube series or that, if you just like tweet me, it's the same handle as my YouTube channel. I've just like if you put the video like on Twitter, just tag me and I'll retweet it. I've got no issues with that at all. It's fine. It's not exactly as if TW is a massive game, so you know what I mean. If we can all help each other, then ideal. And as always, check out the Grey Dog Software forums because that'll give you any mods that you need, any graphical stuff, and of course the patches when they go live as well. Fantasy Bookers subreddit as well, nice wee community over there. twdb.com and bethebooker.net. Great sources for everything you need TEW stuff. And honestly, I've just been chilling out on the RWC Discord and I've learned a lot about wrestling. Because obviously I don't get to see much Japanese wrestling, etc. So it's nice to be educated on that as well. So keep up the good work, guys. It's been a pretty nice community to be a part of. But I've weathered, as always, for far too much. Take it easy. And hopefully I'll see you next time for another show on the road to the Cornell Cup. Take it easy. Bye-bye.